Johann, firstly, a few days on from Saturday's Premiership final, and obviously after securing a unique treble, what are your immediate thoughts a couple of days down the line after some reflection?
Yeah, grateful. Grateful for this amazing third journey that started on the 15th of July last year. We as a group got together and after a few weeks together went to Spain and did all the planning for the season, and it seems so long ago that we started on the Friday night against Northampton, and the season went along and finished on Saturday at Twickenham, and I'd say grateful, and then I think inner satisfaction, and I think that's for everybody involved, from top to bottom, and joy. It's great to see that people are happy. Yesterday going into the city and just seeing people are still wearing their Bath shirts, and people had an amazing time in the last 96 hours.
Obviously, we enjoy the moment that we've had at Twickenham and the parade on Sunday, but this is obviously the third year at the club, and people acknowledge how we've turned around in the last 3 years. So, from your view, this turnaround in 3 years, what's that like for you to have this as the show of the journey of the 3 years?
Yeah, I think main thing that comes to mind: never too high and never too low. Obviously this is the back end of the third journey, and everyone has been different. Everyone has been emotionally different people, different results, different things that we needed to get better at. First year was pragmatic, establish who we are and what we're about, certain on-field improvements in kicking game, set piece, defence, and then the last game against Saracens to qualify for the Champions Cup. And the second journey, we added some more people to our group on and off the pitch, and we worked on the other side of the ball, mostly on our attack, and some wonderful moments in Europe. Started winning some games in the Prem Cup, and we had our first home semi-final against Sale, and then the final against Northampton. And then this third one, you have to say it's the most special yet, because of alignment, top to bottom, owner, board, coaches, heads of department, staff, players have been absolutely phenomenal, and we said we need to get better, and we certainly got better this season. And I think most importantly, family first, always, and the always goes in always be yourself. And I'm very proud of the fact that people are themselves, and some of the moments of Saturday after the game, people playing on the pitch with their kids, seeing their partners, the whole club at the hotel afterwards, there at the Lensbury, and people having a good time together. And if I had to sum up this season in one word: together.
How would you describe the emotion at full time on that whistle? Obviously the emotion was clear to see from coaches, the players, the smile on Dunny's face, let alone. What would you kind of sum up that, and what was going through your mind at that moment?
Yeah, I'd say inner joy, gratitude. Personally, it's been an incredibly emotional 3 seasons. You put so much into it, and I've loved every minute of it. I've never worked a day in my life. Rugby is absolutely my passion, and when we started here, one of the things I said, I just want to see people smile, and the noise, and then a moment in time when that final whistle goes, and in my own personal bit, thankful, grateful, grace. From a team perspective, giving guys a hug, shaking their hands, seeing joy and tears in others' eyes. And then I took quite some time on Saturday to look around at the supporters, what it meant to them. And everybody's got a story to tell. I've learned this in my life. Everybody's got a story. It's different for everybody. And for some people that came up to us as a group, 29 years is a long time. And one of the teachers at my kids' school came to me on Monday morning and said he was at the last final in '96 when Bath won. So just to give him a hug and say, look, the journey you've been on for 29 years, it's amazing. It's amazing what sport can do. It's amazing what a group of men and women can do when they're aligned, and ultimately that's what sport's about. What would the world be without sport? And rugby, as I've said, it's the ultimate team game for all shapes and sizes. There's a lot of method, but then there's also a lot of madness. It's a crazy game. It's chaos, and then you get an incredible group of players that gel together over 3 seasons, and then they deliver a season like we had. The game itself at the final whistle, it certainly won't go down as a classic in terms of the actual on-field performance, but it doesn't matter. What matters is it's a game of 80 minutes, and at the end of the 80 minutes is we were the winners. Gracious. Leicester played very well. It came down to the last place, similar to last year's final, and in last year's final we were on the other side. So inner satisfaction, joy.
You mentioned about the emotions of the supporters, and the emotion was there to be seen on the Sunday with the open-top bus, thousands of people lining the streets in the city. So how much of a special moment was that for everyone at the club?
Yeah, I'd say two things. I'll say that walk-in into Twickenham is the best walk-in I've experienced at any team at any time. The amount of people that were there, it was literally mind-blowing. We learned out of last season's final that is a special moment, but this one topped it. The amount of noise in that tunnel of noise was incredible. Again, the expression on people's faces. When we got off the bus on the left, the purples, and they've been amazing. They asked me earlier in the week, how would I sum up the squad, the team? It's purple. It's the colour purple because that represents all of us. 23 players selected, but those 23 represent everybody involved in the group, and they were there when we got off the bus. And then I walk on the back end, seeing Ben leading the team into the crowd. Ben's been fantastic. Then all of the players together, the connection between player and supporter, staff member, player, just it works. It works. And then just before, sorry, I'm adding one more. Just before kick-off, when we formed our circle, the "Come on you Bath" noise, I remember it. I don't hear a lot in the game from the outside, but that "Come on you Bath" was incredible. And then Sunday, I'd say Sunday, the game is the game. It was amazing. The time we spent with our families and as a team on Saturday night was incredible, but Sunday was special. Sunday you can't put in words. It's that thing that I speak about. You taste it, you feel it, you get goosebumps for it. When we walked onto the road and into the buses and then up the first hill and we turned left there for Pulteney Bridge to see all of those Bath supporters, those are moments that will stay with me and all of us together. And whilst we drove through the streets, there's a line in our plan. It's the 4th line, and it's we created a unique culture with purpose. Unique. We've got some incredibly unique people at Farley. Doesn't matter where you're from, what's your background, what language you speak. It's once you're part of this group, you're into this circle of ours. And culture. What is culture? It's people. It's how we are together with each other. And Ben spoke about we've got each other's backs, and we've had each other's backs for 3 seasons. And then to Sunday, a moment in time. Like there'll never be a day like Sunday again. A club that have taken 29 years to win something that big. For us as a group, I only speak about 11 July 2022 to 15 June 2025, and for us as a group that was incredible. And then I think when we got into back to the rec, that even topped it more. because then we were at the Rec, the place where we play, and then a few special moments there when the players walked out, some to the left, some to the right, and how they interacted with the supporters of the club. And I think that's so unique about Bath. It's not the players are there and the supporters, so yeah, we're all together, and we were all together in that stadium, and seeing the kids of the players and the staff running around on the pitch, family first always. I think that was certainly part of the dream, is to create something with others that's incredible, that people want to be part of. And I think the amazing bit about the story is where we started, where we came from. I speak about this train journey, but yeah, this train certainly went at 100 miles an hour up until Sunday, and hopefully it will slow down now for a few weeks.
This season particularly, you think it's almost like a full circle. We had the full squad in those pre-season games, a home game to open the season against Northampton in the Premiership, ending the season at the parade at the Rec. So it was a really nice full circle that you can always reflect on the season. Yeah,
I think the season, it'll take some time because so much happened. If you think where we came from, the Prem Cup, using 49 players, how proud Ewan led that team. And if I take you back to the Quins game in the quarter-final, we were down 28-7. And the belief is there. We've said many times we've gone from hope to belief, and tough to beat. That side were tough to beat. And again, it didn't matter who wore the jersey, whether it was Kieran Verdon or Thomas du Toit, whether it was Tyler Rufai or Joe Kokonasina. It doesn't matter what your age is, you were all part of that group. And yeah, Andy led that group fantastically well on match days. And special day at Sandy Park, very tough place to go to. I think one of the moments that will stick with me forever is Dunny's try of the quick tap. That to me was one of the big moments in the game. And then similar final whistle. This club hasn't won a trophy for 17 years for that to happen. And then Europe, we started on a wet evening against La Rochelle, power team, small margins, and there's been a lot said about the Benetton game. I was so proud of the players in that game. We lost in the last play of the game, and as we say many times, one point's the biggest and smallest margin in sport. If you win by 1 point, it doesn't mean everything is right, and if you lose by a point, it doesn't mean that everything is wrong. The Claremont game on the Sunday evening at the Rec was unique, very different. It's not a time that we've played in, and wow, that first half against Leinster was incredible. The way we started, Ted down the left-hand touchline, Ben's pass to Alfie's try, Ollie's offloads to Deej, the try from the scrum, the second try, and then as we've learned, unfortunately, when you're away from home and you're down a man, then it becomes difficult. And they were good, Leinster on the night, and then we said we're going to attack the Challenge Cup, and that Pau game was the first time we as a group have won in France together. Again, a Sunday evening against Gloucester. Yeah, what a performance that was. That was one of our better performances of the season. That Edinburgh game was tough. That was a tough to beat performance against a very good side on a 4G pitch. I think Peps finished it off with that try. Kieran Donahue got the ball away, but that was just a proper all-round performance. I remember the impacts in that game, the picture of Thomas coming on, Alfie coming on, amongst others. And then that European final, the whole day in Cardiff. For me, it was like the Olympic Games. It was all the clubs of the world. People that have bought tickets were there. Everybody with their club jerseys, and what a special night in Cardiff under the roof. And to see everybody there, that photo where all the staff, all the players were together, and just again the enjoyment of winning. And then look, this last few weeks in the Premiership has been special. I think I will sum it up. The last few weeks, for me, it's 10 days. It includes the Bristol game, because what a battle that was. And we speak about a gladiatorial sport. men going at each other. In our context, that was a proper game of rugby in that semi-final. One of the best I've been involved at the club. Two very good teams, two very different styles. There was purpose in that game. And we took a lot of pressure in that first half, but we are tough to beat. We stayed in the fight, and then that second half we came through. And then I think about the game itself, best attack versus best defence. Lee and Japes has been fantastic. How good has Blazy and Stevie been from a coach's point of view? And then staff, I can't speak highly enough of the staff, Rory, Alex, Fran, Coops, Sarah, Craig, and in terms of heads of department, and then all their respective teams. And then the whole club, it's been a whole club effort. I think come back to alignment and connection, that's where we started all 3 years ago. If you can align people, you connect everything together and everybody works together. One thing that comes up, there's a lady that I worked with, Anne Lee Murray at the Springboks, legendary lady at the Springboks, and she used to say that it's incredible what people can achieve if it doesn't matter who gets the credit. And I think that's been the amazing thing about Farley. It doesn't matter who gets the credit, we're all in all of the time, and yeah, what a journey it's been this season.
And obviously with success comes expectations, so how will you manage the expectations both internally and externally around where we go, and does that success bring that expectation as well on ourselves?
I think the word success means different things for different people. I think what success means for us is a quote I've used before, you don't become a champion when you win a trophy. You're a champion every single day of your life, and this group of players have been champions for the last 3 seasons because they wanted to get better. They fight for each other, they've got a common goal, that's rugby. And also you want to enjoy it, you've got one life, you want to do it with guys that want the same as you. So for us, success will be processing what has happened to us and then start again at zero. That's the amazing thing about sports. At this stage, we've just won, but at the start of next season, there's 10 teams in the Premiership, and it'll say everybody's got 0 points, and then you've got to fight and start again. So looking forward to do the planning for that. Looking forward to, after we've gone away, coaches get together, look at our game, staff, how can we get better? That's one thing I've learned in sport is if you want to be number 1, you must train like number 2. And how can we get better at a faster rate than our opposition? Because everybody would want to get better. We need to get better at a faster rate than our opposition, and that's the beauty of rugby. That's the beauty of the game that we are in. And the bit around expectation, I've been very fortunate enough to be at the Bulls, the Springboks, Munster, and now Bath, where there's expectation. And expectation is a strange thing for me. Expectation means that people care. And we've got so many people at the club that care. They want the team to do well. So we'll embrace it. We'll make sure that, as we have done for the previous 3 journeys, we'll start the 4th one. New people coming on board, new challenges, everything will be new. So we'll embrace it. I think the strongest points that we have is we've got consistency and continuity. We found something that works for us. We don't need to speak about other teams and what they do. We only focus on ourselves. And it's about this circle of players and staff together.
So inevitably at the end of the season, players move on to new things, retire. So what's your message to them that's leaving the club and moving on to new ventures?
Yeah, thank you. Everybody adds their bit. You know, there's too many to name, but if I think about what Rory McConaughey has added to this group, the human being that he is. Louis Schreier came in his quiet way and made a big difference to our team over the last 3 seasons. Niall Annett's been fantastic in his way. Somebody like Hame that did his ACL in the warm-up game against Cardiff, didn't play a minute all season, but what he's added to the group. Arthur Cordwell, Kieran Verdon, man, what great team men they are, how they led the Purples. Now there's too many to mention. I think the thing that I'll say thank you that everybody's been in all of the time, and the sign of that is how we trained, and whether the colour was purple or orange or yellow, what we did on those training pitches is the most important bit, because ultimately you train so much more than you play. And when you look at performance, for me, you correlate that back to training, and this playing group has been absolutely fantastic in the training bit.
And obviously we've got some new players coming in ahead of next season, so how much are you looking forward to welcoming them on the fourth year of the club's journey?
Yeah, circle of life. One thing that I've learned, and I've learned a lot, I still learn everything every day, 2 years in one mouth, is there's a reason the world was created with 4 seasons. You know, you start with the autumn, and you go into the winter, and then you get spring, and then you get summer, and that goes all around again. So, we'll start with some new people, some fantastic individuals coming in that all wanted to be part of the environment. It's amazing when I met with all of those gentlemen. It's like you want to get better. I want to be part of a family first environment. I want to play rugby with a smile on my face. I want to play in a team that care for each other. I want to achieve something with, and I want to belong to. And I think that's what you want in your team. And there is some fantastic players coming in, and it's not about the individual, it's about the team and what can they add to the team. And some of the things that we've looked at, specifically leadership, and that's not only leadership in terms of the team, that's leadership. Can you lead yourself? Can you lead your sub-unit? Can you be part of the leadership of this club and this group? Always looking for ball carriers, guys that can carry the ball specific to their positions. Some really, really exciting players with speed coming in, and already excited about next season. But we'll take our time before we get there.
And finally, if you can sum up this season in 3 words, what would they be and why?
I think firstly, stick to what I said on Saturday evening. Purple will be the first word. Those purples have been incredible, and it's not only the players that didn't play in the final. The purples were when we selected the 23 versus Saracens, when we made 23 changes. It's when Ben Spencer, Charlie Hughes, Finn Russell, Will Meer, Thomas de Toey, when they were in purple, and how they prepared the team. It's such an amazing thing that we all created here, is that purple squad. And as you saw over the last few weeks, the purples were amazing in Cardiff. Remember when we made that corner to the left, there they were, and how they walked behind the team on Saturday and onto the pitch. It's something we all work together. We're one squad. It's not an academy. It's not a senior team. Yes, obviously there's respect across different levels, but we are one group. So the first bit is purple. The second bit is continuous improvement. The players wanted to get better. As I said before, I can't speak highly enough of the coaching group, because they need to, set the direction, and in each area we got better. Our set piece got a lot better this season. Our attack, we scored over 200 tries across all competitions. We were the best defensive team. If you look at the academy lads that came, if you look at what the year 1 academy lads did, look at what our under 18s did, 2 consecutive finals. Our uni team, how good were they across the season? So, continuous improvement, getting better. And then I think the third bit, I'd say champions mindset. Being together of a group of people that want to achieve and want to belong to, and can I take it back to tunnel of noise before the game, final whistle, seeing what it meant to all of the players. If you look at Ben, if you look at Quinn, Miles' reaction, Deej, every single player's name, and then what happened on Sunday in the city. That's a champion team, and I've never met him, but I've heard the quote about Jack Rowell that Bath's a rugby city, and some magical things happened at Rec this season, and certainly some magic happened last weekend in terms of the blue, black and white. And look, this is about the club, this is about the people of the club, and what a privilege it is to be part of this group.
Johann, thanks for your time. It's been an amazing season, and enjoy the off season, see the new season.
Thank you. The best is yet to come.